Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, if you're looking for the latest celebrity stories, Wendy's got you covered with all the juiciest hot topics. And he's a say-it-like-you-mean-it kind of guy. From the new movie Trainwreck, comedian Colin Quinn is here. Plus, think you're a Hot Topics expert? Find out when we test your Hollywood IQ. Now, here's Wendy!
Thanks for watching. Welcome to the show. Not the woot woot man. You're too kind, thank you. Good. After that, do you have to ask? I feel wonderful. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. So, there are only a few more days before my 51st birthday. And you know, I'm not really a big birthday person. I mean, last year, a birthday party was kind of forced upon me because everybody around me is like, well, you have to do something. So remember, I had the big party, Shaka Khan performed, and then Dougie Fresh got on the audience and performed with LeAnn Rimes. We got turned up. I got sprayed with champagne. It was wonderful. But, you know, the big years, I guess, are on the O or the 5. You know, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s aren't really a big deal. So I'm celebrating by working. But it's... it's work in the name of labor of love. On Saturday, July 18th, I will actually be at HSN Studios in Tampa, where I'll be presenting a new collection. And, well, I've been telling you about this all this week. I'm gonna be on from 10 a.m. to noon, and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. They call it Weekends with Wendy. And Suzanne is wearing the black version of the gray dress that she was wearing the other day. What I love about this dress is that it's made of sweatshirt material. Like, you throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. Wear it with, you know, sneakers, wear it with heels, wear it with flat. It's like, it's comfy, right?
It's so comfortable.
And everything is under $100, and everything is from size extra small to 3X. Now, for me, I love a jumpsuit.
Yeah!
I'm a mechanic. Let me tune you up. I love a jumpsuit. This one is black, but I also have it in, you know, denim color and whatnot. And, you know, it's just watch. If you see something you like, I appreciate it and thank you in advance. Then after HSN, I'm going to do the first night of my 12-city comedy tour. And I gotta tell you, no, but you know, I love doing this show and I love doing Hot Topics, and I'm a real say-it-like-you-mean-it girl, but there's more to what I have to say than just sitting here watching the FCC censor me, you know what I'm saying? The comedy show is not censored. And we get into it. I'll be at the Mahaffey Theater in St. Pete's, which is right next to Tampa. So for all of you all who are gonna be there, thank you. If you would like to join me on the road, I'm gonna be going from like Dallas and Houston and, you know, different places. Just go to wendyshow.com and hit some sort of tab or something that you do to find stuff. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Everyone is not happy for Khloe Kardashian's new relationship with that NBA star, James Harden. I'm not happy with that smelly looking beard. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Shout out to bearded guys. I don't mean anything by this, except this one is just so thick that it looks like there's a squirrel living in it. Shady cameraman strikes again. That's you, sir. No, but I like your beard, sir, because it's trim and, you know, and I'm sure clean. Yes, you, Anyway, you know who doesn't like it? His teammates, the Houston Rockets. Well, you know, I don't know much about sports, so I asked some of my guys around here, is he a good player or is he a bench warmer? Well, apparently he's a really good player. He's the man. And so Khloe's with him, and they don't like that they're worried about like a circus distracting the players while Khloe's sitting there. Sit down, Rockets. This is what I say. This is what I say. You know, first of all, sports is about money. Let's be very clear. And the bottom line is you want seats to be filled so that you can afford to get the best players during what they call the draft. Do I have this right? Okay. But you want people in the seats, and for a lot of us, maybe the only reason that we would go to a game is because Tom Brady is married to Gisele Bündchen. And so why I know a girl, okay, I don't. One of my producers, I was gonna try to steal her story. Look, one of my producers, Emily, was telling me that she's got a friend who doesn't care about sports, but she went like with her guy friend to a game when Chris Humphries was with Kim K. And she said the whole time that Kim was there, she every 2 seconds pulling out the lip gloss. Emily's friend was so distracted with Kim, you know, the beauty, the oh my God, the hair, the clothing, the lip gloss. Her friend wasn't even watching the game. She had a fabulous time at the game. She paid her money, right? The Nets got their money from her ticket. And so no matter how you get it feels, I say you want butts in the chairs. Yeah. By any means. By the way, shout out to all the men watching. I love this new sweatsuit thing going on with men. You know, they're not like skinny, like, they're not skinny and feminine, but they're not the old sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, this to me is very attractive. Yes. The sweatsuit. Jessica Simpson, when she was with Tony Romo, the same thing that the Cowboys thought. Anyway, you know, that she's gonna be distracting to the fans and whatnot. Instead, you know, many of us would be sitting there watching, see what Jessica Simpson orders. Are those more nachos that Jessica's getting? What is she doing? Anyway, speaking of Jessica, she and her sister Ashlee are not getting along so well, allegedly. Well, look. By the way, in these two pictures, Ashlee's prettier. Sorry, Jessica. That was definitely money well spent. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, Ashlee is married to friend to the show, Evan Ross. She already had a child with friend to the show, Pete Wentz. But now she's expecting her second child, this one with Evan, her new husband. Jessica already has 2 kids, and Jessica's the older sister. Reportedly, Jessica is giving unwanted parenting advice to Ashlee. You know, like it was rumored that Ashlee was excited about how she decorated the nursery and invited Jessica over to look at it, and Jessica goes in the nursery and is like, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong, everything down to the clothing, wrong. And I just in my head, like there are a few famous people who I love their sister relationship in my mind, like Beyonce and her sister, and these two Simpson girls. Like there are a few of them, you know. But I do believe that Jessica, I'm just gonna say this. Being an older sibling, they always have something to say. But being the younger sibling, you've got to learn to woman up and shut that down. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, when you shut it down, you have to shut it down so hard that you might not be cool with your sibling for maybe 6 months or something, but when you come back together, at least your older sibling will learn how to act around you regarding certain things. You know, Ashlee is not new to having children. I don't know what could have been going wrong in the room. You know, what, the sockets aren't covered? Can we talk? I was on bed rest the whole 9 months. I wasn't thinking about covering sockets or moving the 409 up to a higher cabinet. I was just so happy to have a baby. I forgot about all the preventative stuff. You know what I mean? I forgot. I mean, thank goodness he didn't take a bobby pin and stick it in there. Have you ever done that experiment? I have. That might be part of my problem. You know, you do a lot of stupid things when you're kids. You know, my brother's only 3 years younger than me. So, you know, the two of us, you know, bobby pins, you know, you pop the rubber tip off of it and you walk over to the socket. I was like 10. You know, just put it in there. You feel a little, and then you're like, Don't do that, though. Don't do that. That was just me. That's my problem. But anyway, I think these two will get back together. Plus, you know, I think Ashlee might be a little extra sensitive because, you know, when you're pregnant, you can't do anything but be pregnant. You know, you can't smoke your cigarette. You know, you can't drink your wine to take the edge off. You can't do anything. So all you can do is sit around and be nervous and then angry at anybody who incites a riot. They'll get it back together. They will. They will. Well, I gotta tell you something. One Direction will stay together regardless. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, One Direction. First, Zayn left, but the group is still together. It hasn't hurt ticket sales. The group is still together. But now, Louis, who's 23, there's Louis. He's 23. He got a girl knocked up after knowing her for only a few months. In other words, she was supposed to be a hit it and quit it. Now he's stuck. Now, this is the girl. You know, she's posing like a hit it or quit it. In March, he split up with his ex-girlfriend, Eleanor. He was with Eleanor for 2 years. Eleanor is very beautiful. And that's a real throwback name, right? like, don't get on me. But who holds their goober? You know, when they're first born? Listen, and they put them in that white blanket with the light blue and pink stripes. You know what I'm talking about? And then you're holding your goober for the first time in the hospital and you say, I think I'll call you Eleanor. Like, like right? It's like an older woman's name, but anyway, don't worry, look, back to the story. So Eleanor, you know, my producers were trying to make me believe that Eleanor is pissed because she put in 2 years worth of work only for, you know, a hit it or quit it to have the baby, thus being attached financially for the rest of her life. And I said, no, Eleanor is probably relieved that, you know, he's shown his true colors. I don't know why they broke up, but maybe there was a lot of hitting and quitting going on. And young, beautiful Eleanor does not need a baby on the side with some other woman, number one. Number two, Eleanor is beautiful enough to go on and use dating a celebrity, an A-list celebrity, as bragging rights. Now here's how this works. You date a guy who's a celebrity or a woman who's a celebrity, and you're not a celebrity. Once you guys break up, you use that cachet of your ex to get into all the same parties. Really? Right? I mean, and you get yourself another richer, more powerful celebrity. Listen, Exhibit A, Amber Rose. She went from Kanye, which is how we knew her. Then she wifed up and had a baby with Wiz. And now she's in the celebrity world. Also, Karrueche Tran. I mean, listen, I know you really don't want to clap about that, and I'm not saying that's right. You know, I'm not the kind of girl to bounce off of, you know, some guy to get my money and stuff. I'm a self-made woman, but I'm saying not every woman can be self-made. There's not a room at Harvard for every one of us. So some of us do have to thought our way to position. I'm not saying that's right. By the way, I love his hair. We're still talking about One Direction. What's his name again? I forget. Who? Louis. All right, well, and so then we were talking in our meeting before the show, do you think the fans will turn on him? Because now he's, you know, impregnated, you know, a girl from a one-night stand. You're my people then. I said, no, they won't turn. These young girls out here, they don't care. But who they'll turn on because they have displaced aggression, they're gonna turn on her, and they already have. You know, how dare you take our guy, you know? And the way Louis will get back in the good graces of anybody who even remotely thinks he's a bad guy for doing this is he's gonna trot the baby around like Chris Brown does with royalty, right? You bring the baby to the red carpet and the whole bit. Anyway, what a mess. Let's move on. Did I ever tell you that I long to go camping? Again, I mean, I grew up going camping, you know, Girl Scout camp and stuff like that, but I mean camping as an adult, and I'll never do it. The Kevins don't care. And I also long to drive across the country in a road trip. Not a straight line from Jersey to California, but a swervy line where we go down to Texas and up through Chicago, and we stop in between. Oh. And that is what I wanted to do for my 50th birthday. And I planned that like when I'm like 38, but you know, time really does go by fast. Next thing you know, I'm 50, and I guess it'll never happen. I want to see those four guys in the rocks at what do you call that? Mount Rushmore. I want to see that. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go to Yellowstone, but I want to go to the Grand Canyon like the Brady Bunch did and drive down with the donkey. But I don't think that'll ever happen. Anyway, never you mind. Look, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are living my dream on their honeymoon. In an RV. Whoever's from the 70s, remember when Winnebago made this big Winnebago? We had two of them. They were so fun. We played, me and my brother. Anyway, look. So they've been traveling through California, but California is so big, you can stay in California and travel for weeks. Traveling through California with their 9-month-old daughter, Wyatt. And some of my producers were saying, ugh. The Bobbsey twins over there. They were saying, who wants to travel with a 9-month-old, all that crying? I said, relax. It's a time for a family to bond. Are you kidding me? You know? I love that. That's some real Americana. Like I appreciate that from my celebrities, that they can just like drop everything and get in a Winnebago and drive. Hopefully, like in my mind, no, they're not traveling with a nanny. They reportedly don't have a nanny, but a lot of celebrities lie and they really do have a nanny. But in my mind, these two people are the salt of the earth in terms of having this baby. Like no nanny, no driver, just, you know, some jeans, a couple of baseball caps, and some bug spray. And I think that's cute. Wow, that lady had some really good hair we just showed, didn't she? Anyway, look, clap, yes, you. Good hair.